Okay guys, so you are year 7 and I would like to share a story with you before we start learning anything. So once upon a time there was a village named Square Root, and this village was a mysterious village, and the name of the village was obviously it was Square Root. And this village had a superficial power that every number or every person who goes in the village has to double its power for entering the village. So that's the superficial thing with the village, that every number or everything which has to go inside the village has to double its power, will double its power. But for example, if 2 has to go inside the village, it becomes 4. And if in the same way, if 3 has to go inside the village, it has to become 9. Yes, very good. Next. And if in the similar way, if we take x, if x has to go inside the village, it will become x square. But there is a rule with the village. To enter the village, you have to follow a certain rule. So if the number cannot, if the number is not a perfect square, then only it can stay inside the village. So some numbers cannot stay inside the village. So what is the rule? I'll tell you the rule of the village. So no perfect square can stay inside the village. So you can see these numbers cannot stay inside the village. How can they enter the village? I'll tell you soon. But the rule is, the only single rule of the village is no perfect square can stay inside the village. So if this is x square, it cannot stay inside the village. Next. Okay. So if the number is a perfect square, what will the village people do? If the number is a once they find the number is a perfect square, they'll just kick out the number. They'll just kick out the number from the village. So if they find x square inside the village, what will they do? They'll just kick that number out, and once that number comes out, it becomes x. It no more remains the perfect square. So it was the perfect square. For example, again, if there was 9 is a perfect square. The village people find 9 inside, they kick it outside, and 9 becomes 3. Yes, but there are some numbers which our partner will